When you hear the name Cleopatra, this is probably the image that comes to mind. But what if I told you she looked more like this? Cleopatra VII Philopator's story is far more intriguing and far more surprising than the legend of a beautiful, snake-charming seductress. In this video, we'll uncover shocking truths about Cleopatra that will challenge everything you thought you knew. Get ready to dive deep into the real story of Egypt's most iconic queen. Yes, Cleopatra ruled Egypt. But here's the truth. She wasn't Egyptian at all. She was born in Alexandria, sure, but her bloodline traced back to Macedonia. Her family? The Ptolemies, Greek rulers placed in power after Alexander the Great's empire broke apart. They didn't even pretend to be Egyptian. For centuries, they spoke Greek, worshipped Greek gods, married their own siblings to keep the bloodline pure. So how did a woman from a Greek dynasty end up becoming the face of Egyptian royalty? Because Cleopatra changed the rules. She was the first in her family to speak the Egyptian language. She embraced their customs, adopted their gods, and didn't just play queen, she played goddess, literally. She presented herself as the reincarnation of Isis, Egypt's most powerful deity. To the people, she wasn't just a ruler, she was divine, smart, right? But it was more than smart, it was calculated. Because the truth is, most Egyptians still saw her as a foreigner. Cleopatra had to fight for legitimacy in a land where her blood marked her as other. So she rewrote the narrative, crafted an image so strong that 2,000 years later, we still picture her in golden headpieces and serpent crowns. But behind the eyeliner and the myths was a woman playing the world's greatest political illusion. And that was only her first trick. According to ancient sources, even Plutarch, one of the few historians who lived close to her time, said Cleopatra's beauty was not in itself so remarkable. Her real power wasn't in how she looked, it was in how she made others feel. Cleopatra was smart, fluent in at least 9 languages, educated in philosophy, politics, astronomy, even medicine. She could outtalk, outthink, and outmaneuver almost anyone. When she met Julius Caesar, she didn't just flutter her eyelashes. She presented herself as an equal. Same with Mark Antony. She didn't seduce him with perfume. She seduced him with power. Her voice was described as irresistibly melodic. Her presence, electric. She knew how to command attention and how to keep it. So maybe she wasn't the most beautiful woman in the room, but she was always the most unforgettable. If you thought Game of Thrones was intense, Cleopatra's family made the Lannisters look like amateurs. To keep her throne, Cleopatra had to destroy anyone in her way, and that included her own brothers and sister. She married her 10-year-old brother, Ptolemy XIII. Soon after, he tried to push her out of power, so she fought back with Caesar's help. Ptolemy died in the Nile during the Civil War. Then came her next brother, Ptolemy XIV. She married him too, but when he became inconvenient, poison, quiet, clean. But she didn't stop there. Her sister Arsinoe tried to claim the throne from exile. Cleopatra had her dragged from a temple and executed on the steps. She wasn't cruel for fun. She was cruel for power. Because in her world, mercy meant weakness, and weakness meant death. And still, she had more moves to make, because soon she wasn't just surviving. She was performing. More than 2,000 years later, we still can't stop talking about her. Was she a queen, a goddess, a killer? Or was she all of it, rolled into one unstoppable force of nature? Cleopatra didn't play the game. She built the board. She turned enemies into pawns and lovers into weapons. She didn't just survive history, she hijacked it. And now it's your move. Villain, icon, mastermind? Tell us who you think she really was, down in the comments.